Thank you so much. So good morning once again. So today we are here for the Coastal Ocean Environment School, which is a summer school that is going on. It involves several different countries that are represented here, and it is the first one in East Africa. So I think this will be mentioned as we go along with the speakers who are supposed to do this rightly so. So at this juncture, I'm going to invite Agnes Wamalwa to say a word of prayer.
So let's bow down our heads and pray. Okay. God, we come to you this morning. We are grateful for this day. I pray that this program becomes impactful and fruitful. I pray that we get to learn, share, and grow together. May you be with us from the end till the beginning, from the beginning till the end. And in Jesus' name I do pray and believe.
He comes here in front. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Cosmas Munga. I'm the local coordinator of the first COES-WIO training in East Africa. I will quickly take you through the program. There are few changes which we have noted. So all of us, yesterday evening we had our welcome dinner and networking, and I guess all of you must be knowing each other, okay? So if you sit next to your colleague, you should know their names, okay? And today is the official opening, and we are happy that this is well represented. Most of our speakers are here. So we have Professor Laila Abakar, is the VC TUM, and then the next speaker, or the first speaker who will welcome the VC, is Professor Peter Gichangi, the DVC ARE. Then we'll have Professor Joseph Rasowo. He hasn't joined. If he's around, we'll have a word with you. We have Professor James Kahindi from Pwani University. He's already here. Can we give a hand of applause to Professor James, who was here since 8:30. Dr. Paul Orina, he's ably represented by Dr. Ocheo. He's here from Kenya Marine Fisheries Research Institute. We have our visitors. Professor Brian is here from Michigan. Dr. Jenny from Michigan. Do we have a representative from Wyomsa? Dr. Chuda, I've not seen him. Any Wyomsa representative? Yes, maybe you. Okay, we have one of our organizers who doubles up to be an ECOP as well as Wyomsa representative. So I will ask Frank to come forward to represent Wyomsa. And then we have a representative of IOC UNESCO. Anybody from UNESCO? UNESCO, IOC, UNESCO. Okay, and then representative of ECOP, Early Career Oceans Professionals. So maybe you come forward, you will give a small brief in the opening remarks. So immediately after the speeches, we'll have Professor Brian doing his presentation. We have shifted it after tea break. We'll have it immediately after all the speeches. And then after the speech from presentation from Professor Brian, we'll have an entertainment, traditional dancers from Technical University of Mombasa, and then we'll break for tea. And then immediately after tea, the official opening will have ended, and we leave this opportunity thereafter. We have the facilitators meeting with the participants to introduce their track introductions and prepare immediately for the afternoon's class sessions. And then we'll have lunch. I think lunch will be here, if I'm not wrong, for all of us. Then we'll break into different classes, and then we'll have evening tea. That is be the end of day 1 or day 2. And then Tuesday, we will have very, very aggressive program. This is, we start our field discussions, and details of these excursions will be given to the individual participants by the instructors. Okay, so I don't have to give details on that, but there are field sites in South Coast and North Coast. And also on Wednesday, we'll continue the field excursions. Thursday, we'll have lab work, mostly at Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. And on Friday, it will be another official closure of the first COES-WIO school, and we expect our visitors to be back again for the closing ceremony. Thank you very much, and I wish you a blessed week.
Thank you so much, Professor Munga, for taking us through the program of this week. So at this juncture, I'd like to invite Professor Peter Gishangi, the DVC of TUM DVC ARE, to give us his remarks of today. Kindly give him a clap as he comes forward. Thank you. Karibu sana, Professor.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I would like to recognize the presence of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Raida Abubakar, and the CEO of Technical University of Mombasa. In absentia, Professor Aswo, DVC Administration, Finance and Planning. I would like to recognize the presence of Professor James Kahindi, the Vice Chancellor, Pwani University. I would like to recognize Dr. Jacob Ochewo, representing Dr. Paul Orina, Director, KMFRI. I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Jane Correa, Associate Director, University of Michigan, Dr. Arthur Tunda, Executive Secretary, Wyomsa, representatives from IOC UNESCO, representatives from ECOP, our own Professor Mwaguni, our own Professor Munga, members of staff present, our own Registrar, Administration and Planning, Director, School of Graduate Studies, and all deans and directors present, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. My name is Professor Peter Gichangi, Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Academic Affairs, Research and Extension. I'm a medical doctor. I have not suffered a head injury, but we need to take care. By training, I'm an obstetrician gynecologist. I hope this is going to work. My apologies, Professor Brian Abik, University of Michigan. I'm informed you are the the head behind the summer school, and very, very important for the summer school to be held at Technical University of Mombasa. Very, very important to note that this Coastal Ocean Environment School, Western Indian Ocean Summer School, fits within the mandate of TUM as part of what we do to advance matters regarding ocean and related affairs. Just come back from South Korea, attending a training on maritime and seafaring matters. And as a part of information to note that the recognition of the importance of the ocean, we have established an Institute of Maritime and Seafaring Studies in the university, and we'll be participating in this meeting. But more important is to note how we position the university in matters pertaining to the ocean. Very glad to note that our own Vice Chancellor started her life in research in the ocean by working for KMFRI. And this is really a very, very important history. Also to note that the university, its origin 1948, was based on matters of the ocean, and is not by default. It's by our true positioning that we advance, we advocate for the exploration and utilization of the vast resources found within our oceans. This meeting is particularly important because the matters you're going to discuss here will not only go to recommendations, but they should be translated to actionable things, which then can be able to bring about economic prosperity by having graduates who have the latest on their fingertips to be able to implement. Professor Munga, many discussions we have had informs me of the vast resources available in the ocean. And what an opportune time where in this country, from the topmost leadership, our President, His Excellency, Dr. Ruto, is very passionate about matters regarding oceans. And he sees that as one of the pillars for development in this country. So Professor Brian, by bringing this conference here, indeed is going to contribute to that bigger picture, not only of the university, but of the country in general. With these remarks, I would like to invite our Vice Chancellor, Professor Raida Abubakar, to give her opening remarks for this conference. Professor.
I hope we will not have problems. Our partners who have come all the way from the University of Michigan, Professor Brian and Dr. Jane, who are here with us today from the US, and they were instrumental in bringing up this summer school. Our other collaborators, Professor James Kahindi, Vice Chancellor of Pwani University, and also Dr. Ucheo, who's representing the Director General of KMFRI. We are having also representatives from other institutions, members of the TUM community and KMFRI and Pwani University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Looks like you look very, very tired. Mine is just, first of all, to appreciate that this summer school is being hosted in Kenya, the first one in this region. There's been summer schools, as we were told yesterday during the dinner, that for the last 10 years, the summer school has been hosted in West Africa, that is Ghana and Nigeria. So the first Coastal Ocean Environment School It was initially supposed to be for Kenya, and that is why we had the partnership between our two stakeholders in the marine and blue economy industry, that is Pwani University and KMFRI, together with Technical University of Mombasa. But later on, it was agreed to expand and also include the whole of the West Indian Ocean. So yesterday, when we were introducing ourselves during the dinner, I realized that we have 17 countries represented here today. 17 countries are represented. And as I said earlier, this is also the first time that we are having this summer school in the Indian Ocean region. Tujipige makofi, being the first ones. As you are all aware, our government currently is taking a keen interest in the blue economy and matters of the blue economy. So it is not by default that we are having this summer school here in Kenya. We are also, next week, we'll be hosting the West Indian Ocean Marine Science Organizations Conference, again, which is also the first, this is the second time, Joe, isn't it the second time that is being hosted in Kenya, the Wyomsa conference? So, the third or second? Third. This is the third time it's being hosted in Kenya. So we are really feeling privileged that more, and next year also, Mariam, we're also having the ocean, yes, our ocean conference, which is also going to take place in Kenya. So it seems that Kenya is the destination to watch when it comes to the matters of blue economy and the ocean sciences. So mine is just again to acknowledge the hard work that was done. This summer school would not have taken place if it wasn't for the efforts of our teams, both from University of Michigan and from Technical University of Mombasa, Pwani University, and KMFRI. I wish to really thank and appreciate all of them who made us who worked behind the scenes, morning and evenings, burned the midnight oil to make it possible. Asanteni for really making sure that this summer school has taken off. The summer school will have 5 training tracks, with thematic areas mainly on small-scale fisheries, mariculture and post-harvest management, chemical and physical oceanography, climate change and physical processes, and also marine pollution, plastics, together with the data and survey design. These tracks were carefully selected to allow the early career professionals, postgraduate students, and also the undergraduate students to have a feel on the research areas that they would eventually be interested in and would like to continue with. So the tracks will be offered through interactive class, lectures, group exercises, field work, as Professor Munga has just explained, and also lab practices, lab practical exercises. The sites will be both in the North Coast and the South Coast. Allow me to also, for our visitors who are here, this is our main campus, but we also have a campus in Kwale, which is in the South Coast, and we also have a campus in Lamu. That's the northern part of the Indian Ocean. So we have campuses along this strip, and as I said, for Kilifi County, we have Pwani University, and of course in Mombasa, we have both KMFRI and Technical University of Mombasa. So the sites for this training will be both in the North Coast and the South Coast of Kenya. We would just want, first of all, to say that this meeting, as we are having this meeting, and we are following it with, again, the the Wyomsa conference. It will be an opportunity for all of us to take stock of how far are we when it comes to the issues, the sciences in the Indian Ocean. And this interactive session, what we will be doing is network among ourselves, find out which areas that will be able to benefit us, and as I said, come up also with collaborative research areas that we would like to explore later on. So on behalf of our local collaborators, that is Pwani University and KMFRI, I would like to, as TUM, I would like to welcome you all to this particular summer school, and also hope that we will have fruitful discussions. The training will have an impact to all the participants who are here, and we look forward to a very, very successful workshop so that we can actually chart our way on the blue economy and the marine sciences. Asanteni, and thank you all for coming. Allow me to take this opportunity also to welcome my friend, my colleague, and our partner from Pwani University, Professor James Kahindi. Karibu.
Good morning, all. In the interest of time, allow me to ride on the protocols that were already laid out by Professor Peter Gishangi and the Vice Chancellor. Indeed, it gives me pleasure to join you today in this partnership that we are doing with the Technical University of Mombasa. And had I known that I will actually be called here by the VC, I would have dressed better. Thank you very much. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am really excited by this endeavor, this training that is the first ever in Eastern Africa. When I was seated there, I looked around our partners and I saw that we are basically responding to the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development that started in 2021. This is 2025, that is 4 years after, and it is only when we are waking up to start the first training. But as they say, better late than never, so I am really elated that this has come to bear fruits, and I hope that the 75 participants who will be trained on hands-on activities will be able to contribute effectively to these marine sciences, fisheries, pollution control, and all that pertains to the Indian Ocean. It is important that we take care of this ocean, because when you look around the entire world, let them not deceive you with the geography, that you have different continents and so on. The ocean is simply one. It starts in the Indian Ocean, it will go to the Pacific, and it is just one ocean. So if we don't take care of it, we have no other ocean that can be able to assist us. So it is important that we do that. Allow me to say that on behalf of the Pwani University Council, the Senate, the Management Board, the staff and students of Pwani, we are really committed to having this particular endeavor, and we are thinking of starting some ocean clubs that will basically lead to work together with the early career ocean professionals, so that we can build this interest from the time that the students come into Pwani, so that they can look forward to all these wonderful things. I do not want to take so much time, except to say and to thank all the collaborators here, and in particular my big sis, the VC TUM, for bringing us together to make sure that we move together with a common goal for a common good for the common universe. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. So today's meetup here to do this is very significant, as the previous speakers have said. Yes. So as the previous speakers have said, the ocean okay, I guess. So as I was saying, okay, thank you. So as the previous speakers have said, the ocean is really under threat. So today's focus is about the Western Indian Ocean. So this ocean serves over 65 million residents. Okay, so I was saying the Western Indian Ocean serves over 65 million coastal residents, and that is a really significant amount of people. So if it is under threat, then we have like 40% of the coral reefs are already degraded. Every year, about 12 million tons of plastic overflow and enter these oceans, yet it is a source of livelihood. It actually does carbon emission. So it is really important that we have this, and I am not in the marine field, but I'm really excited about having the first summer school to actually have or help people who are earlier on in their career doing this. So as we continue the program at this juncture, I'd like to invite Dr. Paul Orina, who is the Director General of Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, which is KMFRI. Karibu sana, Daktari. Kindly let us clap for him as he walks towards the stage. Karibu sana.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am Dr. Jacob Ochio, standing in for Dr. Paul Orina, the Director General of KMFRI. Allow me to ride on the protocols already observed by my predecessors. I want to take the opportunity to appreciate being at TUM. I think since my sister, Professor Laila, came in, I've never come officially to say hello. And I always say that there must be something wrong with me. But it is good that today I'm here, and it is a great privilege to be here. Thank you very much for hosting us. The Coastal and Ocean Environment Summer School is indeed a great international collaboration that is aimed at building the capacity of the young professionals on oceanographic and environmental sciences in the African continent. I want to appreciate that it began in West Africa, particularly in Ghana and Nigeria, and now it is expanding and taking root in East Africa, starting from Kenya. And we would not really take this just as something that has happened by accident, but it is because of the way capacity building in oceanographic and environmental sciences is quite important. The initiative has actually been endorsed by the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, which actually began in the year 2021 and is running through to the year 2030. And it is highlighting, when you look at the focus of this UN Decade of Ocean Science, it is highlighting its global significance and commitment to sustainable use of ocean resources. So the school, that is the summer school, has been running annually since the year 2015. I think this is quite remarkable, because if it has been running since 2015 in West Africa, and by now, when you count the number of years, it means a lot of experience has been gained. So the moment now it rolls to our country and the East African region, then it is coming with a lot of experience and lessons learned that would make it even support us in a better way. And we appreciate the fact that this particular summer school would entail both lectures, hands-on laboratory work. It would cover field trips to enable the learners and the young professionals to gain some understanding of what really is happening on the ground, and of course, research projects. Now, the summer school definitely would be addressing critical marine issues, particularly when you look at the issues that affect, yeah, it looks like be addressing fundamental issues. We have the issues of pollution that are affecting our marine environment. We have shipping and related piracy issues. We have fisheries-related issues. The stocks, especially within the shallow inshore areas, are getting depleted, and because of that, you realize earnings are going down. And one thing I need to indicate is that I am issues that are affecting our resources from what really affect our economies and affect our societies in a significant way. So our participants are definitely going to get practical skills for lots of science that will be anchored on field work, laboratory analysis, data interpretation, and programming tutorials. Now, these experiences will equip the young scientists and professionals to be able to contribute effectively to sustainable processing management and research. And one thing that is really critical is to note that the importance of bringing in unique management to our processing and the associated resources, because for a long time there has been a traditional approach to management of ocean resources, and we realize that challenges are continuing to rise. So this particular kind of capacity building will enable us to address this emerging problem. So the summer school fosters networking and collaboration between Africa, Europe, and the United States. And it serves as a platform for scientific exchange, capacity building, and partnerships for advancing social science in Africa. The current event that we are actually having here, which is actually hosted by Zoom and KMFRI, with a strong support from Oceanic University, is a sister program in the Western Indian Ocean based in Kenya. And it's a network it also serves as Wyomsa's special social event. I want to appreciate, I happen to be the organizing. I happen to be the national organizing committee chair for the Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association symposium, which is starting on 29th, and people are already coming in. So it is quite important that this event is taking place as a symposium event, and we want really to appreciate that. The event brings together 75 participants, and I wish to appreciate the University of Michigan, USA, and the Ocean Decade Capacity Development Facility that are funding this summer school. I wish to confirm KMFRI's commitment to supporting this important school, so that as we continue going forward, KMFRI would be able to avail the necessary facilities that will support this summer school. Thank you very much. I wish you well as we continue.
Thank you so much, Dr. Orina, for that address. So as we move along, I think I'd like to call the next speaker who is going to give his remarks. So the next speaker is going to be Dr. Janae Collier, who is the Associate Director, University of Michigan. So kindly let us give a hearty clap. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. How are we feeling? I'm very interactive, so how are you? Feeling great? Feeling good? Wonderful. I want to see the raise of hand of applicants who applied. So raise your hand if you applied to the school, you're here. That's like all y'all in the back. Raise your hand. Come on, let's go. Yes, 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 yes. So I can imagine that you did your research prior to applying. We've looked at your applications, and we noticed the research that you invested to understand the summer school. So for those who may have not applied and you've done a little research, there's a few things that I want to share with you all to bring in what the purpose of the school is. First is our vision. The vision for the summer schools is to address the conditions and equity issues that have historically led to the exclusion of African representation. We aim to both current and future to empower current and future generations of African scientists in the global science field. And that is the true purpose. So the summer schools are here to help advance the representation of Africans on the global science platform. That came from the ideation of Dr. Brian Arbic. And I think that is one of the things that wants to be highlighted most, is that the work that we are doing here is to bring more of the global south a part of the conversation when we talk about the ocean, when we think about the representation and conversation, because we are all a part of this, but we recognize there is exclusion happening actively, and how do we bridge that? So being here at the summer school, it is essential that we are creating those networks. As the Vice Chancellor has already addressed, 17 countries. How many of you have been to 17 countries? Raise your hand. Right. So just think, you're like with 17 countries right now. So what I want you to do is at least make connections with 10 other countries, because imagine where that can take you. Imagine where making a connection with another country can take you. Because the success of the summer school is when the school continues outside of this week. This week is to propel you to make those connections, to think about how you can have a presence on the global platform, not just this week in the school. So I know the school is going to be fun, you're going to be tired, you're going to be excited, you're going to be hot, right? Like all these emotions. But the purpose of the school is to have you all be a part of the global conversations when it comes to ocean sciences. So as you are here, the mission is for you to start to make those connections. The mission is for you to bridge those connections now. And I'll also share the mission that we want in COESing, and that is to attract, empower, and educate future international African scientists, providing a platform. This is the platform. But the platform only works when we come here with our purpose. So many of you have come here to, yes, I want to have this experience. I want to learn in my project groups. But how do you take that purpose outside of this week? Is it finding a mentor? There is an audience of experts in this room. How are you going to introduce yourself? How do you make sure that you make your mark? So as you're thinking about that, how does this platform propel you? And then next is for promoting African science, improvement of African and African scientific global ties. We want the opportunities to foster collaboration, innovation, and knowledge exchange within the community of Africa, particularly in the fields of oceanic sciences and environmental sciences. So the purpose that we are here today is for you to make those connections. The only word I want you to know after today is connection, okay? Like everyone's talking, connection, connection, connection. But I want you to take that connection into action. There are how many countries here? How many? Now come on. You all have 17 countries. How many countries are you gonna meet before you leave? Oh, some people said 16, 17. That's not bad. I said 10. Go ahead, overachievers. Right. So I want you all to think about that. Meet new countries, meet people. Figure out what their issues are. See how you can collaborate. The reason that this school is successful, it wasn't because of the University of Michigan. It wasn't because of TUM. It was because of all these names. It takes collaboration. It's not one person who finds the success. It's when you work with others to create success together to meet a global problem. And that's why you are here. So I want to welcome you all to get excited, to become energized, because this week is supposed to change your life. This week is meant to take you to the next level. So I want you to carry that energy and bring that energy with you as you meet everyone throughout the week. Thank you so much, and thank you all for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for that. So at this point, I'm going to invite Mr. Frank Mirobo, who is the representative, who is going to be representing the Executive Secretary of Wyomsa, which is the Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association. Kindly, Mr. Frank Mirobo, if you're in here, kindly let us give him a clap.
My name is Frank Mirobo. I work at the Western Indian Ocean under the ECOPS network. So itoshe tu kusema all the protocols observed. So from the Wyomsa side, the Western Indian Ocean Marine Association is looking forward to keep on supporting this kind of initiatives. And we are committed to really bring that changes we all want to see to our early career ocean professionals, but also the mid-careers. So just to sum up, Wyomsa is looking forward to continue supporting this school, but also really to bring those changes into the regional wise. So let us hope as we are heading forward, we are looking forward to commit, but also for those ones who are looking forward to attend the symposium, which is going to be taking place next week. Make sure you also connect. You will meet a lot of people there, but also make sure you bring something back home, back to your communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So at this point, I'd like to ask if the representative for the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO is around. Is there a representative? Clap for him as he comes, kindly. Well.
Thank you very much. In the interest of time, I'll also acknowledge the protocols that have been observed. My name is Gabriel Akoko Juma. I'm representing ECOP, but we work closely with the IOC UNESCO in the different programs that we do within the ocean decade. So I would define our, as mentioned by the earlier speakers, the activity we are having here as a capacity exchange, in that within the UN Ocean Decade, we have got the Ocean Decade Challenge 9, that works more on skills, knowledge, technology, and participation for all. And we aim to ensure that the skills that different partners within the ocean have, we share them for sustainable oceans. Now, within the IOC UNESCO, we have got the Ocean Teacher Global Academy, who are our partners here for this activity, and who are supporting a lot of scientific components of the training, and also the capacity development facility. So these are some of the programs that have been initiated within the UN Ocean Decade to support the capacity development or capacity exchange activities that we shall be having. Within the ECO program, we also have the Blue Card project, for which some of you have participated in or have participated in some of the past training activities that we've had. Last year, we had a training in Malta. This year, we are joining the team here in Kenya. And next year, we are having other training activities in Belgium, just before the World Maritime Biodiversity Conference in Bruges. So we come together, as Janai mentioned, let's connect. It's not really capacity building, but capacity exchange. And even when we go out to communities, they already do have indigenous knowledge that is also important, maybe not well choreographed into scientific papers like we do, the scientists, but we can also learn from them. And we are also going to be learning from you, our participants. And that's why I'm talking more of capacity exchange. Finally, I also supported in the application process. We really appreciate you for applying. Sometimes it can be disappointing when we make a call and people don't apply. So we really thank you for finding it worth to apply for this. We targeted 75 participants, and to give you just some demographics, we received 812 applications. So that was really encouraging. At the same time, we targeted the WIO region, and as it has been defined, the WIO region are these countries that subscribe to the Wyomsa in the West Indian Ocean region, that is having 10 countries, but the applications that we got were from over 40 countries. So as far as Sri Lanka, Vietnam, UK, Togo, everywhere. So the projects that we designed within those project tracks are deemed useful and important for the development of ocean science. With that, I would want to wish us a great week, a successful one, and let's already think about what is next after this training. Thank you.
All right, so in life is a journey of learning and relearning. And in the spirit of this journey, at this point, in the spirit of collaboration, discovery and knowledge, we are going to have a presentation from Professor Brian. Professor Brian, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay, so I control the... Start now. Okay. Okay, thanks everyone. So like many of the speakers, I'll ride on the protocols, as they say. I do have some detailed thanks at the end. So this school here, COES-WIO, Coastal Ocean Environment School in the Western Indian Ocean, it's an extension of a school that we've been running in Ghana and Nigeria for 10 years. Okay, so we've been running it every year for 10 years. And the one in Ghana is called COSING, Ghana and Nigeria, sorry. COSING stands for Coastal Ocean Environment Summer School in Nigeria and Ghana. So we first started it in Ghana, and the IN was for in and the G was for Ghana. Then when we added Nigeria, the I was for in and the N was for Nigeria. So it still worked. Yeah. So we held the 10th anniversary of that school just a month ago, and so I wanted to give a history of that school here, because what we're doing here in Kenya or East Africa is to try to do the same kind of thing but in a different region of Africa. So here's a brief history of the school in West Africa. So again, we've been doing it for 10 years. We have a lot of group photos like this. We need to take some group photos like this here as well. This one happens to be from 2018. So a little bit of history. So how I personally got interested in doing this kind of thing. So it's a little bit personal, some stuff, but how we as a group, and here I'm talking about West Africa, got here. Okay, so my parents met in Nigeria. So there's a town in Nigeria called Jos. So the Nigerians, of course, really enjoy hearing this. So this is my father right there. He's still alive. He's 85 now. Here is him teaching 60 years ago in Nigeria. My mother worked for an extremely famous religious scholar from the Netherlands. So this is my father here and my mother. And they were introduced by a mutual friend, Peggy, who is a Peace Corps volunteer. So the Peace Corps is something that was dreamed up during the administration of John F. Kennedy 60 years ago, 65 years ago. And in fact, Kennedy first announced the idea of the Peace Corps on the steps of the student union at the University of Michigan. And he said, how many of you young people would like to go abroad? So hopefully some of you have heard of Peace Corps. It still exists. It sends Americans to other countries abroad. They works here in Kenya, for instance, and also Tanzania. I joined the Peace Corps after I graduated from the University of Michigan. So right now I'm a professor at Michigan. I also was a student there. And after I finished my studies, I joined the Peace Corps. So unfortunately, I have to sort of skip around in time a little bit. Because Kennedy announced the idea at the University of Michigan, 50 years after that, in 2011, the Peace Corps held a celebration at the University of Michigan, and that celebration will be important later on in this talk. But skipping back to 1988, so after I graduated, I was assigned to teach secondary school math and physics in northern Ghana in a town called Damongo. So this is a map of Ghana. And you'll notice that Damongo up here is not on the ocean. So I was teaching physics and math in northern Ghana. Northern Ghana is quite remote. Most people from southern Ghana don't go to northern Ghana. Even today, you can talk to them and you ask them, have you ever been to northern Ghana? Usually the answer is no. So it's far away from southern Ghana. And back then, when I was in Damongo, there was no paved roads, no running water, and no electricity at the school. And since I was teaching physics, that means that I had to teach electricity in a school that did not have electricity. Okay, it's important to keep in mind as we go on. Okay, so I taught a lot of students in Damongo, but some of the students I got to know really well were the ones that took science. So this is the Form 5 science class in Damongo Secondary School. One thing to note is that the science class had no girls in it back then. So I've visited since then, and now the school, half of the students are girls and half of the science students are girls. So that has changed. But back then, the science students were all males. About a quarter of the students are women, but not many science students. So one of the students, Joseph Ansong, he's very important for this story. You'll hear more about him. And also Adam Mutu Akilu and Seydou Jeremiah. Okay, so for those of you that are a lot younger than me, which is most of you, you may not realize that back in 1988, there was no WhatsApp and no smartphones, all those things. So if you wanted to stay in touch with people, you had to take a pen and write something on paper and put it in the post office, yeah. So it was a lot more effort. So I marched through my life and ended up getting the faculty position, but I lost touch with all these Ghanaian friends that I had. But meanwhile, I still gave talks on my Peace Corps experience, and I had this idea that I wanted to help create a sort of Peace Corps for science. So instead of a secondary level, more like a university research level, a higher level, and that, to sort of help build a global community so that African scientists could meet more people from the global north and vice versa, But I had to get to a position to do that. But then in 2008, some of the people in this picture found me on the internet and they wrote to me, and how are you doing? At that time I was in Texas. And I found out that Joseph Ansong, so after 16 years of no contact, I found out that he was getting a PhD in Canada, which is next to the United States, with someone that I know very well, studying basically the same topic as me. So that was just an amazing coincidence. After 16 years, no contact, oh wow, you're working with Bruce. So sorry it's a bit small here, but this is the email exchange that I had with Joseph after 16 years of zero contact. And then I brought him to visit Michigan. This is my house. The reason I brought him at this particular time is because the Peace Corps was celebrating its anniversary that I mentioned earlier. So I kind of at the anniversary said, oh look, here's someone that I taught a long time ago. So then my partner, Jennifer Ross, she said, you know, why don't you hire him into your lab? Which I probably would have done anyway, because he's very smart, but definitely her, you know, nudge helped. So I hired him into my lab. He was there for several years, and the University of Michigan liked the story so much, this reunion, that they wrote some press articles about it. So here's a picture of Joseph from Ghana in my group, along with other group members, including one Paige Martin, who has done a lot of work on our West Africa school. Okay, so the first school that we held in Ghana in 2015 was very small. It had only lectures and discussions, and it was held at a place called Regional Maritime University, where they train people for maritime careers, ships and ports and something like that. So there's only 4 people that have been at every single school we've held in Ghana. Myself, of course, Joseph Ansang, whom I mentioned, Ebenezer Nyadro, who's actually here. There he is. So there's Ebenezer. This is Ebenezer lecturing 10 years ago. Looks about the same. Wearing a different shirt today. And then also Wynne Johnson was an instructor. She's been at most of our things. But another person I want to mention is Richmond Kennedy Akwarko, who's there. So Richmond, 10 years ago, was training to work in ships, which he did do. But he's actually participated in all of our schools, and he's now one of the leading advocates in West Africa for cleaning up plastic in the oceans. Our very first summer school, I remember Richmond looked at me and said, I want to clean up plastic in the oceans. And I was very, I didn't really know what to say because I don't study that topic, but he's done extremely well. Yeah. Okay, so from 2016 to 2019, we also held schools in Ghana, and they alternated between University of Ghana and Regional Maritime University. We had about 100 African participants per year. So it was in Ghana at that time, but here's what happens in West Africa. If you hold something in Ghana that people like, even if it's in Ghana, after a while, most of the participants will be from Nigeria. And the reason is, Nigeria has 230 million people. Did you know that? If you look it up, the next biggest country in Africa, Ethiopia, has less than half as many people as Nigeria. Nigeria is really huge. So there they were. Okay, we had about 15 US and European participants per year, and a lot of those people had never been to Africa before, and now they're taking African students into their labs. We started doing more things, so we had field trips and lab exercises, and people gave presentations. Okay, so then we had the pandemic, so for a couple years we had to do virtual presentations, virtual schools, and we started getting people from Kenya coming to that. I think that helped plant the seed for coming here, that people from Kenya were coming to our online school in Ghana. We even had people from Asia coming as well. Okay, then in 2022, we actually decided to go to Nigeria. Again, it's the most populous country in Africa. It's a very important place to work, to have an impact in Africa. Here's some pictures from that first school. It was co-hosted by these institutions. Do you know that there are some projections that the most populated city in the world in about 30 years is going to be Lagos, Nigeria. And it sits on a lagoon, an estuary. So oceanography is very important to that, just as it is here as well. Okay, 2023 was the first school we held in Ghana since the pandemic. And we decided to change to an emphasis on hands-on research projects in these 4 subject areas: fisheries, plastics, biogeochemistry, and physical oceanography. There's Ebenezer, who's sitting over there. These are some of the other field projects. And I'll also just mention that I love these kind of things. So one of our Nigerian participants, Lydia Bosedi, is very passionate about fisheries, and she's also very passionate about graphic design. Kind of 2 interesting, things. And so she designed this logo here. So COSING, Coastal Ocean Environment Summer School in Nigeria and Ghana. And we have a new proposed logo for COES-WIO, which looks similar to this, except it says COES-WIO, obviously. 2024, we went back to Nigeria. We had another hosting institution, continued to do hands-on projects. One thing I want to mention of personal interest to myself, there's a $1 billion satellite mission in space. It's NASA and the French and also the British and Canadians played a little bit of a role. And it's measuring sea surface heights at extremely high resolution. It's called surface water ocean topography. In fact, we're going to have a meeting for that mission in a few weeks in France, and I'll be going to that. It's measuring water heights not only over the ocean, but also over land. So it's measuring rivers and lakes, can be used for water management. So now ask yourselves, where do rivers meet the ocean? And the answer is estuaries. So here is a group of Nigerians in 2024. They're in the Niger Delta, which is one of the world's largest deltas, right here. And they put some instruments in the water, right in the water, to try to ground truth this satellite. If we can make this work, it'll be one of the first places where we have ground truth measurements in deltas to look, to corroborate with stuff in space. Okay, so this was our first time trying it. They went back and the instruments were gone. Okay, it's a fast-flowing river. The Niger Delta also has huge security problems. I won't get into that. It didn't work. That's science sometimes. Okay, so 2025, we just had this school back in University of Ghana for our 10th anniversary. So one of the things that was kind of special to me is that the Ghana local organizers said, oh, this comes from the experience I had 30 years ago. So all of these gentlemen here came to the school. They are all people that I taught more than 30 years ago. They came to the anniversary. And some of them are in this picture. So go back here. So Mutu Akilu was there at our 10th anniversary. Jeremiah was there. He's much more prosperous now than he was then. And Joseph Ansang, as he's been in the school every year. So these people are all on the stage along with a couple others. And Jeremiah gave me an ostrich egg. That's an ostrich egg right there. If you've ever held an ostrich egg, it weighs like a stone. It's really, really huge. Okay, and this guy here, Mutu Akilu, he's now the CEO of Ghana Water. So he's in charge of water for the entire country of Ghana. And he was a student. That's why I wanted to mention that, we formed this connection in a town, a small town that had no paved roads, electricity, or running water. Now he's the CEO of Ghana Water. Okay, and we continue to have an emphasis on hands-on research projects, as you can see here. Now, one thing I'll mention a little bit more later is that for the Ghana School, we now have funding from a private foundation, and they're funding something called the Ocean Margins Initiative. It's a $9 million US project. It's quite a lot of money. With that kind of money, you can actually do things like go out on big ships and deploy instruments in the water. That's what they're doing right here. So this ship here is a Ghana Navy ship. They're out on the Ghana Navy ship with expensive equipment from the US and deploying it. That takes a lot of money to do things like that, but we have that kind of money now for this Ocean Margins Initiative track. Now, once again, we tried to ground truth SWOT in these places, so in a few months we'll find out if this time in Ghana, maybe the instruments will actually still be there, unlike last year. Okay, so next year we're planning to go back to Nigeria, to a town called Calabar, a city, Niger Delta. And part of the attraction is that the local organizers say it's the most relaxed city in Nigeria, that they like to say in Nigeria that this stands for come and be and live and rest. That's what Calabar stands for. You see that? Come and live and be at rest. Or relax. R can also be relax. So that we're going to try to deploy instruments in the Niger Delta again, using the better infrastructure of the ports and oil industries. So we've had about 1,000 in-person participant attendees over 10 years, 1,000 people. Now some of those people are the same person coming a few times. We just count that twice or 3 times. Similarly, we had 250 instructors, many virtual participants and instructors. Our email list has 1,700 people. So we have people around the world writing and saying, we want to make this announcement to Africans, please do it, and I always do it. We also have WhatsApp groups set up by the participants that even 3 or 4 years later, the 2022 group or 2023 group, they're using it to announce, oh, this person graduated, that person got a job, here's an opportunity, things like that. So we've really helped build a community. Our primary funding sources come from the US government, National Science Foundation and Navy, my own university. That's for the first several years. Also some smaller amounts from this organization in Italy and smaller sources in Ghana. And huge in-kind support, we call it, from our hosting institutions. Okay, but this year and the next 3 years will be funded by Schmidt Sciences, a very large project led by these people and many others involved, including myself. And the way this happened was we built up a community in Ghana with many schools. So then I was giving seminars on it, and then people became interested, and I introduced all the American scientists I know to the African scientists, and now there's $9 million. And the nice thing about it is that because it comes from a private foundation, there's no restrictions like the US government often has. So a big fraction of that $9 million is going directly to Ghana. So they're using it to build new labs, train students, ship time, all this great stuff. So we're attached to this project with a lot of money. That's what I'm saying there. Okay, we also are endorsed by the United Nations. And Edom Mahu, who's a Ghanaian that I worked with a lot in all this stuff. We co-chaired the UN Decade Working Group on Capacity Sharing and wrote a white paper, showed it in Barcelona in 2024. Dr. J also presented there on this stuff. Okay, so this year there's going to be 3 schools in Africa. So we already held the one in Ghana, and then a few weeks later there was one in Francophone West Africa. So some French-speaking West Africans decided that, because of the language barrier, they wanted to have a school in the French-speaking countries. So that took place just a few weeks ago. And now we have this one. So 3 schools on ocean science in Africa this year. And this one here is number 3. All right, so really quickly at the end, I want to emphasize again, as has been said well by other speakers, a lot of my vision for this is building connections. Like we have lots of stories of connection there. Lots of stories of, people meeting scientists and, like Ebenezer, for instance, once showed a fisheries student that she could use satellite data to monitor temperatures, then she used it in her thesis. We have hundreds of stories like that, like just people meeting each other, exchanging ideas. So for me, a lot of it is personal, and so after the 2025 school, again, I went and visited people that I knew from 30 years ago. So these are people that I taught with 30 years ago in northern Ghana. This is one of my former students who, again, is much more prosperous than he used to be. These were the people that were my neighbors, and they sent food over to my house, so I'm very thankful to them still for that. I don't know if you do this here in East Africa, but after colleagues die, people put up these banners, and you go to their house and visit their families. So some of my former colleagues have passed away recently. This is the house that I lived in 30 years ago. And Americans, when you come to Africa, you can't help but tell stories like this. So there were vipers sometimes here. One time there was a spitting cobra here. There were scorpions, there were bats. And the thing that actually hurt me was African killer bees. So one time a swarm of African killer bees came to the front of the house and attacked me. And I was stung about 30 times on the head. And I turned around and ran back towards the school. And this guy was smart enough to put a towel on my head. And I never thanked him 30 years ago, but then he's now the bursar for the school. And he said, "Do you remember when the bees stung you?" I said, "Yes, I definitely remember that." So I thanked him for that. So these are some of the, this guy was another one of the students I taught. He's now the assistant headmaster of that school. And we went to this scenic area outside Damago. And then we visited the chief. So I don't know exactly how powerful traditional leaders are in this part of Africa, but in Ghana, they're written into the constitution. So traditional rulers are extremely important. When presidents are elected, they visit the traditional leaders. So we visited the traditional leader of Damago, told him the story of how what started in Damago has now grown into this big international thing. He was happy to hear that. And another thing that I'm almost done, of course, a lot of people I taught up there live in Accra, the capital city now. So these, just a few weeks ago, these are people I had not seen in 30 years. So this guy was the CEO of Ghana Water under the previous government. He was a teacher in Damago, and when his party lost power, the next guy was my student. So two CEOs of Ghana Water come from that little town that I taught in. This guy now works for an insurance company using the math that he said he learned from me. And then this person here is on the security detail for Ghana's president. So he's protecting the president. He's very high up in that. Okay, so here's the thanks I gave in West Africa just a month ago when we held this school. My partner Jennifer Ross and Joseph and Adam and Janae, who's there, and the organizing committees, instructors, and the Richmond and his media people. And now here's the, oops. So I had a slide on thanking the people here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's my last slide. So I'm not as good at doing protocols as Africans, but here's my attempt. So I would like to thank the hosting institutions, Technical University of Mombasa, Pwani, and KMFRI. I'd like to thank the sponsors of this, the financial sponsors, United States National Science Foundation, IOC from UNESCO, ECOP, Wyomsa. I'd like to thank Janae, who does a huge amount of the organizing on the US side. We couldn't run these schools without her. All the members of the East Africa Organizing Committee, I won't name all the names, but they're all there. I know that they've worked extremely hard, and we should all thank them for that. And I'd like to thank all the instructors, participants, volunteers, and a support staff here. I'd like to thank Richmond, who I mentioned already, and his team for bringing their media skills from West Africa to here. But there's also media people here at TUM. So I'd really like to thank everyone, and I hope that this school will be as long-running and successful as the one in West Africa that will run for many years and get grants from sponsors to do a lot of science. Thank you.
Well, everything surely has a beginning, and that was the very beautiful history of the beginning of the Coastal Ocean Environmental School, and I'm pretty sure that we are very happy and honored to be the third school hosting this. So at this juncture, I'd like us to just kindly give a very hearty clap to Professor Brand for the beautiful presentation. Thank you so much for that. So we are going to proceed with our program. So right here in Mombasa, the ocean for us is not just about culture, it's a way of life, it's a resource. And in the same spirit, we are going to have 2 presentations right now. So the first presentation is going to be a poem, and after the poem, we are going to have a cultural dance that is going to be presented here. So I don't know if the people doing the poem, if you are ready, kindly come forward. As they get ready, so after our presentations here, the entertainments, we are going to have a group photo session. So the people in charge of that kindly get ready and inform us where and how we are going to do it. The people presenting the poem, if you're ready, kindly. It seems they're not around, so I think we're going to begin. Oh, it is her. Oh, kindly, sorry. Welcome. Please give her a hearty welcome.
All protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Tracy Kajo Robert. I'm here to present to you a poem entitled Marine Life, Our Life. God had a vision among his creation, full of admiration for the world's completion. He blessed us with the ocean, then told us, go ye and enjoy the ablution. Ocean, harbor, and several resources, food and feeds in plenty, oxygen in infinity, sceneries of beauty. But these need sustainability. Proper management shapes our predicament. Avoid overfishing notion. Protect the ocean from acidification, marine pollution, and eutrophication. For this marks our condemnation. Eutrophication is a demon, for algal bloom and other plants become common. Microorganisms grow their colons for oxygen depletion. Water surfaces intoxication, reducing the blue economy admiration. Let's avoid atmospheric deposition from roads and bad ship transportation. Let's avoid marine activities and poor aquaculture urbanization. We have to walk an extra mile, protect our agile if we want a smile. Marine life, our life. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful poem. So at this juncture, we have the cultural dance. So the people doing it, kindly let us clap for them as they come in to entertain us. A bit more, we encourage them. Yes, thank you.
Hello? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. Welcome to Technical University of Mombasa. In front of you are staff from Technical University of Mombasa, hailing from the Mijikenda tribe. We are going to welcome you with a song and other traditional songs that have been passed down from generation to generation, probably older than your textbooks. So, our first song is called Tangirania Jenny. It is a call to the community to come and welcome visitors. So sit back, enjoy, and relax. If you feel like you're moving, the beat is moving you, kindly stand up and join us. Hello?
Hindeni be karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni we karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni be karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni we karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni be karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni we karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni we karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni be karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni we karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni be karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Hindeni we karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Karevizo mungana zana kikombe.
Ache ela muhaha jere jere bai
almehuo
Technical University of Mombasa.
No, dobe.
Pawani.
Kapilipili vichache.
Kaende sabu karakarade.
Ninakola la mino.
Ela ni vizosho shako Tuhako kanda. Haya. He.
Nona dobe.
Ere papayu. Viziro totwani songo wa giredi namba 1.
Kapilipili vichache.
Kaende sabu. Karakarade.
Inakolola mino.
Elani vizojo shako. Tuhako kanda. Haya. He.
Ache. Ela muhaha. Jere bai.
Almehuo.
Kino chuo cha TUMU kizamanyika na kosi kwa sababu ya mipango mizo. Acheni nzanzo. Kino chuo cha TUMU kizamanyika na kosi kwa sababu ya mautu mazo.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Kunamba kino chuo cha TUMU kizamanyika na kosi kwa sababu ya mashomo hali ya Zulu.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Kunamba ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze fumande ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze fupate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Kino chuo cha TUMU kizamanyika na kosi kwa sababu ya mautu mazo.
Ajeni nzo kazana. Mze mpate ujuzi.
Kunamba kino chuo cha TUMU kizamanyika na kosi kwa sababu ya mautu mazo.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Kunamba ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Hata kulagana zoni mze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Hata Tanzania zoni mze mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Hata Mauritius zoni mze mpate ujuzi.
TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Hata Mozambiki zoni mze mpate ujuzi. Yeah. Ghana na Nigeria zoni mze mpate ujuzi.
Mpate ujuzi.
Ajeni nzonzo TUMU mze mpate ujuzi.
Nzonzo TUMU.
Kunamba ajeni nzonzo TUMU fuze fupate ujuzi. Hata South Africa zoni mze mpate ujuzi. All the way hata wa France zoni mze mpate ujuzi. Ajeni nzoni TUMU fuze fupate ujuzi. Hata Mishowati zoni fuze fupate ujuzi.
Kapilipili chache. Ninakola lamino. Ela muhaha. Jara bai.
Almehuo pekeshe mwambire mula moyunata pekeshe vitu vinago mago nago mago pekeshe mwambire ni munga yunata pekeshe tuvinago mago goma pekeshe mwambire ni munga yunata pekeshe vitu vinago mago goma pekeshe mwambire ni munga yunata pekeshe vitu vinago mago goma oh vinagoma nawe vinagoma nawe vinagoma nawe vinagoma nawe vinagoma nawe vinagoma nawe almehuo kaza manango ayam kaza manango kaza manango ayam kaza manango kaza manango kaza manango kaza manango wamkaza mwanangu wamkaza mwanangu ambo wamkaza mwanangu wale watatu almehuo mkaza mwanangu wamkaza mwanangu wamkaza mwanangu wamkaza mwanangu wamkaza mwanangu aya mkaza mwanangu amba mkaza mwanangu aya mkaza mwanangu aya mkaza mwanangu mkaza mwanangu mkaza mwanangu mkaza mwanangu amba mkaza mwanangu mkaza mwanangu
Technical University of Mombasa.
Well, that was nothing short of an electrifying performance. Kindly let us give them one last clap for that amazing performance. Yes. Asanteni sana. So there is a Swahili saying I read yesterday coincidentally, and it says, Bahari haikosi mawimbi. So that means the ocean does not come without waves. So in the same way, our people are never without song and dance. They have proven it here. So at this point, we are going to proceed to the next thing, which is going to be the photo session. So I'll guide you on how we are going to do that. But because after the photo session, I'll not be able to make announcements there, so I'll make the rest of them here. So after we have our group photo session, we are going to proceed to our coffee break, which will take about 30 minutes. So during that time, if you are in need of a health break, for the ladies in the room, kindly, you will go to the left side. And for the gents, we are going to use this right side. We have ushers with tags who are going to guide you on that and also going for the tea break. And when we come back, we are going to meet our facilitators and do the track introduction. So when you go for your tea break, kindly, as Dr. Janae told us, don't forget to smile, make a connection, one or two connection. You have over 17 countries in this room here today. So take chance and do something about it. So for the photo session, I'm going to ask all of us to kindly go outside here where we registered, and then the photographers are going to tell us how we're going to stand, and we have the photos taken. Thank you so much.
Camera what? We are fearing cameras, eh? All right, now, just by show of hands, participants in the group Climate Change and Physical Processes, raise your hands up. I'm seeing very few, eh? Climate Change and Physical Processes, good. Participants in the group Small-Scale Fisheries, Mariculture and Post-Harvest Management. All right, thank you. Participants in Physical and Chemical Oceanography. Chemical, good, you are there. Participants in Marine Pollution and Plastics. Marine Pollution, good, thank you. Participants, Data, Survey. Okay, thank you. So all the groups are represented here. So this marks the end of our joint meeting. Immediately after this, we will break out to the different thematic areas. But before that, I want... Okay, Dr. Mariam says, those people who do not know where they belong, can you raise your hand? Anybody who doesn't know their thematic group? Okay, you will see Mariam so that we can fix you. But you must be a registered participant. We don't want new recruits. Please, all right? And we know the number of participants. Now, I want to call upon the first group, all the thematic leaders or the experts or the instructors. The first group is, I start with small-scale fisheries, mariculture, and post-harvest. Come forward, the experts. Experts, if you are there, please come forward. I introduce you to the experts. Please come forward. So I have with me here all the experts. Please come along. They will introduce themselves, their background in terms of academic and the different positions that they have been serving. And these are the experts we selected. We think that they are very, very competent to handle the small-scale fisheries, mariculture, and post-harvest management. I'll start with Dr. Mirera.
Is it afternoon or it's morning, surely? Yes, good afternoon. My name is David Mirera. I'm a principal research scientist working for Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, based here in Mombasa. I have almost 20 years of experience in working in coastal aquaculture, having introduced quite a number of interventions along the coast. At least if you go to every village, you can realize that there is a small mark of that. The aquaculture has not advanced much, but progressively we are seeing a lot of development currently in Kenya and in East Africa and in the Western Indian Ocean region. Right now you can stand and count the different countries that have got marine hatcheries in their countries for one species or two. And that's a good step forward. I don't want to say more, but maybe we'll engage more when we are in class as we interact. Thank you much.
Applause, Dr. Mirera. Yeah, let's clap for him again. And he's from the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. And he forgot to tell me that, or tell you that he was my classmate, first degree.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Tunje Joseph from Pwani University in Kilifi. In the small-scale fisheries, my background is mainly on fishery resources and people. Mainly, my main interest is looking at how people exploit the fishery resources and ways of conserving the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This group has three components. That's why we are so many here. There is small-scale fisheries, there's mariculture, and the post-harvest. Now, this is mariculture, small-scale fisheries, we are going to post-harvest.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Peter Odor Odote. KMFRI up to last year, December, I think. But now I'm in the NGO world, community development, so I'm just extending what we were doing in KMFRI to the implementation stage. My expertise has been on fisheries quality and post-harvest management, together with value addition. So what we shall be learning about is, can we control losses from our fishery and turn it back into money in our pockets? We will go up to value addition, practicals, and maybe you may carry a product with you home from Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Odote, a very aggressive scientist on post-harvest losses, long experience. Thank you very much. Now the next is also from Kenya Marine, Dr. Nzioka. He will introduce himself.
Good afternoon, once again, everyone. My name is Dr. Anthony Nzioka. My background generally is marine environment and resources, but
Try this one.
Testing. This is working. So my expertise is in reproduction of marine fishes and invertebrates, organisms. I'm currently heading the mariculture department at KMFRI, but my background has spanned experience of over 20 years in a marine environment along the Kenyan coast and in different parts of the world. So it's good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nzioka. There's a dedicated visit to a facility in his center in South Coast. I hope you'll enjoy once you reach there. It's a wet lab. The next one is our collaborator from outside Kenya. This is a blessed group, eh? Yeah.
Thank you. Professor Munga. My name is Frank Mirobo. I work at the University of Dodoma. My background is on the fisheries, ecology, more of a management aspect and policies. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. Frank also doubled as to be an ECOP and also a representative of Wyomsa. And finally, my name is Cosmas Munga, Associate Professor from Technical University of Mombasa here. And my background, fisheries and aquatic sciences, with masters in ecological marine management and PhD in marine sciences in Belgium. I've got some good experience, almost 20 years now in fisheries, small-scale fisheries, and a bit of industrial fisheries. I've been heading this group. We have had planning meetings virtual because of our friend here, and I'm promising the group, the participants, that good things have been planned for this group, and I'm sure you'll enjoy. Finally, before I release them, we have the Wyomsa conference. I have a mini symposium session on 28th from 4 to 5:30, 5:45. Don't let me down. Please come. Come and listen, okay? Let us clap for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The next group is physical and chemical oceanography. All the experts, please come along. Physical and wow, our group is not gender balanced, eh? I will have to do something. Physical and chemical oceanography. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is really excellent expertise from different countries, and I'm sure we'll receive good things from here. So I'll start with the ladies first, okay, for the introduction, background, and then tell us a bit yourself.
Hello. My name is Tracy Schaefer, and I am a research scientist at the University of Florida in the United States. I study biogeochemistry in all sorts of wetlands, both on coasts and also freshwater. Not that that's the topic of this conference, but yeah, really excited to be here.
Hello, so my name is Audrey Delpech. I work as a research associate at CNRS in Brest, in France. My background is in physical oceanography, and more specifically I work on small-scale physical processes and how they affect the state of the ocean and the climate. Thank you.
My name is William Xu. I work as a postdoc at the Oregon State University right now. So my background is also physical oceanography. My research area is tides and internal waves, and I'm currently working on a global tide model, just try to improve the realism of tides in the model. Thank you.
My name is Fernando Pareja. I am an assistant research professor at Rutgers University in the US. My background is in environmental engineering and meteorology, and then did my PhD in physical oceanography. I work in numerical modeling of estuaries and continental shelf. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ebenezer Nyadro. I'm an associate research professor at Mississippi State University. I'm also an affiliate with NOAA. My background is in physical and satellite oceanography, and my research has primarily focused on ocean circulation and Earth's interaction in the Indian Ocean. Thank you.
Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. My name is Mariam Swale. I work at Technical University of Mombasa, and I'll be leading this project track, Physical and Chemical Oceanography. I'm so excited. This track doesn't have male only. It's a mixture of gender. And about myself, I am a chemist by training, and my research is in marine sciences. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I understand you will use computers in your training. So we have made the necessary arrangements. We have our librarian here. She was here. She has done all the preparations. And once you are ready, please let us know. Can we clap for them? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Brian,
Yeah, I'm actually a physical oceanographer, so I might do a little bit of instruction, we'll see. But one thing I wanted to mention, so Tracy mentioned fresh water. You know there's huge lakes in East Africa, so how many here are more interested in the lakes than the ocean? There's probably a few, right? Is everyone here the ocean, or? Oh, okay. I thought there was a few people here from Lake Victoria area. Yeah, so I mean, lakes are relevant here too. I just wanted to make that point, yeah. And I think KMFRI, they study the lakes too, right?
Yes, they do. We have inland scientists from KMFRI also. Thank you. I think we can go. The next group, yeah, clap for them, please. I'm tempted to join this group, because of the gender. The next group is, can we have climate change and physical processes? Noah and group, Noah and Dr. Kimeli. Yeah, come forward. Come forward. There is an apology from Professor Mwakumanya from Pwani, but we have this gentleman from KMFRI. They are very ably, they are very experienced to handle the physical processes and climate change. Yeah.
It's afternoon, yeah? Good afternoon. Noah Ngisiange, also from KMFRI, Ocean and Coastal Systems. I'm a senior research scientist. I have a background in computational systems and also marine biology. At KMFRI, I focus on operational oceanography and mainly focus on climate change. And also I look at aspects of disposal, biasly towards fish larvae. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Amon Kimeli. I also work at Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute under the Oceanography and Hydrography Department. I did my PhD in Germany on geosciences. I have a background in geology, but I also work on climate change, ocean mapping, and for this group, we will do very hands-on training. So as the coordinator mentioned, through the library, you'll access computers, because most of the work will be computer-based hands-on training. And also, I'm currently the Kenya Wyomsa chapter coordinator. So I coordinate all the Wyomsa membership within Kenya, and now we are working on the next week's conference. You are all welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, folks. And then more details will be given in the class. Thank you very much. The next group is, we go to pollution, marine pollution, and plastics. Professor, please come forward. It's quite a big team also. I hope there are ladies in this team. No ladies.
No, we have like 8.
Oh, yeah. So only the fisheries group is not doing well, eh? Okay, so I think you'll repeat the introduction, so that this is another. Yeah.
Okay. I am Eben. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Dr. J.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Okong Walter. I'm a research fellow with the University of Lagos, Nigeria. So on this project, we'll be working with the marine pollution. So I'm into policy and governance, marine pollution, anything with regards to the environment. So we'll be talking more in the class, so thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Francis Mutuku.
I'm an associate professor here at TUM, and for the last 20 years I've been working on vector-borne diseases. The last 5 years I've been looking at how plastic pollution contribute to vector-borne diseases. You are all welcome. I'm leading the group, and we hope to learn a lot from each other.
Good afternoon. My name is Saidi Mwaguni. I'm a professor of environmental science in this university. I've got over 40 years experience on pollution matters, natural resources management, and the policy. I want to share that experience with the youth. I heard Brian asking if there are people who are dealing with the lakes. Our division is here, we consider just marine and fresh water. So the lake is fresh water, and we are there. My main expertise actually is also on water quality, particularly groundwater. Thank you very much.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Johnny Bugani, Dr. Johnny Bugani from the University of Dodoma. I'm the lecturer teaching and doing the research on the aquatic sciences. I have, of course, a lot of number of experience on the marine and coastal resource habitat management. I've been working for almost 6 years with the local people along the coast. I worked with the CSense, which is local NGOs, that is specifically dealing with local communities in conserving the marine and the coastal environments, of course, including the issue of pollution control, so including plastic pollution control, but also I served with the WWF Tanzania for almost 2 years, and also it was more or less the same job. It was in Mtwara on the fisheries management. So one of the aspects, of course, was on pollution. So raising awareness to local communities on, how to take care of fishery resource, those fishing sites, but also the pollution. But also at University of Dodoma, I'm teaching, and of course, I've been taking the student to, for a lot of studies in the Indian Oceans. We had a lot of excursions, so I have much experience on that areas, of course, on the marine pollution also. And in my studies at PhD, I did on how the plastics affect the welfare of the organisms, and particularly on the fish. So thanks very much.
Jumbo. My name is Richmond, background with nautical science, so I was sailing around the world, moving cargo from port to port. Currently, I am Executive Director at Plastic Punch. We are in Ghana, Nigeria, Estonia, implementing a lot of projects in the Gulf of Guinea. We give a lot of grants to innovators. But key among this topic is what our research interest really is with development, is we are finding or seeking to develop products that look and feel like plastic, but from vegetal fiber. We've been working with ISTOM in France and currently running a project, Horizon 2020, with the European Commission. And give us 3 years, we'll find some nice biodegradable products to replace this. Look forward to see how we can support the group, especially in the aspects of policy. How do we translate this data to our policymakers? How do we even set the agenda for them to even listen to us in the first place? So yes, you'll be having an exciting time in our group, and thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Richmond, we need the grants, eh? Bring the grants. Can we give them a hand of applause, please? Thank you very much. Last but not least, we have the last thematic group, which is very interesting. And I think I'm told that they have already started interacting virtually. Very, very important. Data, please come forward. Data, come forward. How many guys? Data, yeah, come. So data is very crucial. And unless you have the techniques to convert data into information, then as a scientist, you'll be doing nothing.
So it is very, very important data. So we start with the...
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Clara Vives. I'm currently a research scientist in Japan. I'm a biogeochemical oceanographer by background, and I like to study large ocean processes for which I use autonomous platforms like satellite data or Argo floats, which are these huge robots that go underwater and measure different variables for years. So that's what I'm going to be teaching with the course, and I'm really hopeful that everyone can utilize these freely available sources.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Gabriel Akoko. I just finished my PhD from, thank you, from Alfred Wegener Institute and the University of Bremen in Germany. I've been assessing permafrost erosion and how it's affecting plankton communities, so biogeochemistry in the Arctic. And we've started a teaching that is really great. We've been in the OTGA platform, very interactive class, and we are looking forward to do fieldwork and more data management as well, using the data that we shall generate as well as those that we are getting online. So one thing, Professor, also in the application, Professor has been talking about gender balance, but from the participants, we really appreciate that all, we had the different gender represented in this school. And one thing that struck me is, Clara mentioned to me that in our project track, we might have more girls or women than men. And this is because they wrote very good applications. So she mentioned that it's not just about gender, but they really took their time, and she enjoyed reading the applications that they wrote. So for men in the room, we have to get our things better now because science is changing, and it is not as usual where marine science was about men. No, things are changing, and we have to get it going. Thank you.
Hello, so my name is Dr. Stanton Belford. I am an associate professor and actually chair of math and sciences at the University of Tennessee Southern. So it is 1 hour south of Nashville, which is, of course, the home of country music. Not that you care about that, but that gives you location. I'm a marine ecologist by background. I've done, this year, March, made it 20 years doing research on coral reefs in the Caribbean, specifically Trinidad and Tobago. Just to let you know, a science teacher in high school took us out to the reefs, and more than 20 years later, I am still at the reefs. So the importance of high school science teachers, very, very important because they direct the careers. Let me just tell students, any one of us instructors who were introduced today, please, I'll say it 3 times, please, 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 chat with these instructors. They have a lot to share. We are tasked with the training and mentorship of you, the future generation of marine scientists. So thank you, and hope you enjoy this week.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right, now allow me to call upon one very, very important person who will play a great role, especially in the practicals at Kenya Marine and Fisheries, to introduce herself. The lady behind. Jackie, please introduce yourself for the lab session. They need to know you. Come forward. Yeah. She's the principal lab technician or in charge of all the labs in Kenya Marine, and it would be nice to know her and also maybe to say a word to the participants.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Orlando. I'm a principal laboratory analyst. I'm also working as in charge of the labs in the oceans and coastal systems and blue economy, that is the KMFRI labs. So I'll be coordinating all the laboratory activities that will be taking place at the KMFRI labs. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Now I think we are good to go. Just to remind you, we have 5 tracks, and each track has a minimum of 15 participants. Okay. If in a truck you are more than, let's say, 20, then we'll have a problem. So we don't expect bloated numbers, and there will be roll call to see whether those participants are genuinely attending, or we have guys who are sneaking in. All right, so I'll be going around to all the trucks to see who are these participants are. Okay, so I think I need to, before I hand over to our MC, I think we are proceeding from here. We are going for lunch, isn't it? I don't know where the lunch is. Where is the lunch? And then after the lunch, we will go back to Mazrui, the place where we had our evening dinner. That is where we are going to conduct all the classes for this afternoon. So it's going to be a crash program. We are going to end around 5:30. Hopefully you'll still be having the energy in preparation for field work tomorrow and lab work as well. So all the details will be given to you in the individual track groups. I just want to make sure the lunch is ready. Do we have any dancers here to entertain? No? Okay. From West Africa. Next time we will we'll allow West Africans to dance also. Eh? So where are we taking our lunch? Are we taking our lunch here? Yeah. And then how do we reach Mazului? I suggest we take a walk after the lunch. You know, when you eat too much, you need to exercise a bit. So we'll have to walk slowly back to where we were last evening. And the doors, the venues have been labeled clearly. Small-scale fisheries, oceanography, you read, okay? And everything is labeled, don't enter the wrong place, okay? Lorna? So I'm told the lunch is here, but they are preparing. So I need something going on. Maybe, yeah. Maybe our MC, you can give us something. Oh, okay. Okay, just a minute. There's the muadhin first. Maybe 2 minutes. The muadhin is going on. There's some prayers, and then just 2 minutes, and then we'll proceed.
And share what you learn, you will automatically get entered to win acceptance to next year's school. No, Sin. So 5 volunteers, and you're entered to win acceptance to 2026 school. So once we get everyone to come back, we'll get those 5 volunteers ready.
Hello. I have an announcement kindly. Hello. 1 minute, please. Just an announcement before you continue. If you have the keys to room number 10 and 11 for Tumel, kindly.
Going to automatically be accepted into COES-WIO next year. If you are interested in sharing your experience, we need 5 people to do that. The next step will be I'm going to select you, and you know I'm that type of person. Y'all already caught that energy. So we're going to give you all 10 seconds. If I don't have people down here in 10 seconds, I'm going to select people. So I'll go back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you She said, no, I'm leaving. Okay, here we go. I'm going to select people. We have 5 volunteers. They're going to share what they learned from the networking experience as well as from their partners. One thing that we all have to master is public speaking. I understand that it is a frightening experience for many. However, you are able to do it. And at the end of the week of this school, it is an expectation that you step up, that you ask a question, that you go to the front of the room, that you speak in front of a group. Because all of the instructors here are speaking in front of you. That's a group, right? They have to do grant presentations, proposals, conferences. We are preparing you for the global market. So it can be very comfortable to sit in your seat right now, but all these people have courage, right? Comfortable courage, comfortable courage. These are the courageous students. I believe all of you are courageous, let me be clear. But to make a point, to come up in front of strangers and to share an experience takes courage. And if you have courage, raise your hand. None of you have courage? Okay, because I'm looking for global leaders and they have courage. So think about how you can find your courage this week to tackle something that may intimidate you. Because if you want to do research abroad, or you want to do a presentation, or you want to have a publication, you will have to send cold emails. You will have to meet strangers, because that is what it takes. And we have all done it. All the instructors in the front of the room, we have all been like, I don't know them, but I'm going to try. Try and have courage for yourself. So congratulations, top 5, for having courage. We're going to start right over here. Introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you learned from networking, and also the people you learned from.
Hello, good afternoon.
Sorry for that interruption. So kindly, if there's anybody else who has a key, they need to clean the rooms, kindly surrender them to me, and then you'll get them back when you go to the rooms. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Amina. I'm from Tanzania, and I currently work with Mombasa Coastal Community Network, which is dealing with conservation, marine conservation in general. What I've learned from people I met here, first I met people from 3 different countries. I met a person from Kenya, another one from Seychelles, and one person from Comoros. An interesting part that I've learned, I've met someone with the same name like mine, because I know Amin is a very common name around East Africa and Western Africa in general. So the second thing I learned is I got one person telling me about the room experience at Tomb. That was an interesting part. I won't say what she said to me, but yeah, I got some information about the rooms. Also, the third thing I learned is that someone who is learning civil engineering, so I was interested to know how civil engineering is related to marine issues, and he said that when they are doing constructions along the coastal areas, they need to know the environment well so that they can know what to construct and what not to. I think that's all, because I only met 3 people. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Hadija Buki. I'm from Kenya. I work with Africa Nature Organization. We basically deal with conservation of marine and terrestrial ecosystems. I met someone from France, someone from Mississippi State, US, someone from Tanzania, and another one from Kenya. From my experience, I think I wrote some. The one from France was dealing with seeing how tidal waves affect climate change, because she said tidal waves have been left out in research, but they have effects on the climate change, and they also definitely affect the composition of the water. Okay, another interesting one that was close to my heart was I wanted to know how indigenous people, or how do we make this marine pollution, how do we make it work? We have different, you can get different stories from different countries, different regions, how they deal with marine pollution, or generally pollution. But then there seems to be some few gaps, because pollution is still going on in very many states. So he gave me an insight that we need to go to the indigenous people. We need to bring them aboard. First, if you want to have a project, you're working on a project, go to them first, because also people around are listening to them. So you go to them, learn from them how they take in their cultures, what affects them, and then you bring out your idea and see how you can work together to bring out a major effect. The last one was dealing with aquaculture in Shimoni. They are working with fisher communities in rearing crabs and prawns, and I've learned that they majorly export to Dubai. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Amin Omar. I'm a PhD student at the Institute of Marine Science in Zanzibar, which is a part of University of Dar es Salaam. I'm also a senior laboratory scientist at the State University of Zanzibar. So during this party, or during these meet people parties, I meet a lot of people, and I was lucky to meet many of the people from Kenya, my neighbors. And we had various or different discussions. And among these, even though I feel myself that maybe I have nothing, maybe still I didn't do a lot in marine issues, but I find myself that really there are some people who look at me like, you are our advisors. You can advise us based on your levels. So I'm really grateful for this. I found someone, a young who just finished his BSc, and he said he's more interested in physical oceanographies and applying the data. He also said he tried to make his own software to analyze data, and it was very interesting for me that to find a boy who just finished his undergraduate and already tried to make a platform like that. So I really learned a lot, and I think now I also can learn from people who are below my levels, because I think they know a lot more than I can. I also found a lot of other people, like someone from France, and she also advised me a lot. We had discussion about what she's doing, and she gave me some interesting stories, but that was yesterday, not today, last night. And also, I met someone from Kenya who's working as a fishery officers, who's doing who regulate the fisheries in Kenya. And I met a policy overseer, someone who oversees the policies, and she also provided a useful insight, and I also had connection with her now. And also I got someone who can visit Zanzibar next month, I think. So thank you, and this was wonderful.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Simon Dombela from the University of Cape Town, South Africa. Firstly, I'd like to teach you how to greet in South Africa. In isiXhosa, the most dominant, can you say Xho? By the end of the week, we'll get the Xhosa, the most dominant language in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape parts as well. Okay, how we greet in isiXhosa, we say molweni. Can we say molweni? So molweni is said to a group of people, and then if it's one person, you say molo. Can you say to the person next to you molo? Awesome stuff. So if you find yourself in the Western Cape or the Eastern Cape, you know your way around. Okay, so I met a lot of interesting people, spoke to some people. One even tried to convince me to do PhD, which I'm still thinking about. But one of the things that I learned, or one of the most impactful things, was that as much as science is very broad, as much as we may be doing different things, but there is a lot of commonalities, a lot of intersections. Being someone who's interested mostly in socio-ecological systems, how society interacts with nature, instead of them being conceived as binaries. The talks that I had with the people really made me most aware that you cannot separate society from nature. Therefore, research needs to start from the ground up. I spoke to a lot of interesting people, one from Spain, Madagascar, only someone doing some amazing work in Madagascar, in the Comoro Islands, which is mostly ignored in both policy and research. So it was great to speak to people doing work that side. Also spoke to someone here in Kenya who introduced me to a part of the culture, how names are derived, how children are named in Kenya, which was quite interesting for me. And then but I haven't spoken to someone because my interests are in fisheries management, fisheries governance, coastal risks, as well as the intersection between society and nature. So if you are interested in coastal risks, you can just let me know, and then we'll have a chat. If you're interested in issues of policy and governance along the coast as well, I would like to have a chat with you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jen from Kenya. I'm an associate research associate at Kenya Marine and Fisheries Institute. I've interacted with several people, and among the most I've interacted with, they were dealing with pollution, which has become an exciting element when it comes to the oceans, and I was much concerned. I met a guy from, was it Somalia? I don't know, I've forgotten, sorry for that. And he was telling me they had this project when they were tagging the plastics, you release them to the ocean, then it's collected somewhere else, they document, and see the date it was that it was tagged, and where it has been collected, and I was like, okay, this what does this mean? He told me that they were tracking the current movement and also how long that plastic or that pollutant can take being in the ocean. Then with my line of research, which is fisheries, I was like, for how long and how do these plastics, all those pollutants affect the fisheries when it comes to their diet and their ecologies, that is their ecosystem, their habitats. I also met someone from Comoros who was studying with the beaches and the coastline, and it's the same thing with the pollution. I've also met someone with physical oceanography. It's my first time to learn about the physical oceanography, and I was much interested on the parameters, the conducive environment for our fish, the conducive environment for the ecosystems that we are having in our coast, and how do they interact, how are they affected by the changes in the parameters of the waters due to climate change and those pollutants and so many things. So thank you so much for the interaction. Rest.
Let's give another round of applause for our top 5 speakers. As I shared earlier, it takes courage. It takes courage to do those things. It takes courage to speak up and speak out, because that's something that can change your life. You heard many of them share what their interests are, what they're doing, and they want to connect with others. Now that they've showcased their knowledge, a lot of you are like, oh, I want to connect, I want to connect, I want to connect. They just met 100 people like that because they spoke up. Think about that for your projects, for your presentations that you may be interested in and you may feel reserved about applying or submitting. Always apply, always submit, because that can change the trajectory of your career. So what we're gonna do now is take a 15-minute break, and then it will be about lunchtime, so start going to the bathroom, stretching, doing what you need. But that's gonna close our morning session, and then we're gonna get to project tracks after this. Once again, thank you all, and I'm gonna hand the microphone over to the wonderful Gabriel before we get to there.
Thank you, Ejinai, for leading that. I have maybe an announcement or a concern. So we're working closely with Sophie from OTGA. I understand that our courses are in the OTGA platform, and all the participants are supposed to be registered so that you can be able to follow the course even after the summer school. So she just wrote to me that some people have not registered yet. So please, before we start in the afternoon, register your names, update your details in the OTGA platform, and then you also registered for the respective tracks to be able to follow the courses and the materials. Thank you. Then we can proceed for the short break and lunch afterwards. Thanks.
Please pull out your phones for this announcement. It's very important. With internet, there's Wi-Fi there, free Wi-Fi. Kenyans don't use that Wi-Fi so that we don't have pressure on the on the Wi-Fi. Yes, it's very important that we communicate what we're doing in the school. This session has been streaming live on YouTube, and so we start with Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. That is COES.WIO. COES, C-O-E-S, then .WIO. If we do not get less 75 likes, we are not leaving the school. We'll lock everybody here. So COES.WIO on Instagram. Coastal Ocean Environment School, Western Indian Ocean on LinkedIn. On Twitter as well is COES.WIO. And on Facebook, it's Coastal Ocean Environment School, Western Indian Ocean. So either COES.WIO or Coastal Ocean Environment School, Western Indian Ocean on all platforms. It is important that you follow and share your journey with us as well. Hashtag COES-WIO 2025. If you share stories about the school, I mean, it will be great for you to communicate, I mean, the whole experience. We would love to see that communication so that others also follow, so that all the partners as well, especially those in West Africa and other parts of the world, would see what the Western Indian Ocean energy is. So COES.WIO on Instagram, COES.WIO, TikTok, Twitter, X. On LinkedIn is the Coastal Ocean Environment School, Western Indian Ocean. Share your story, all the amazing pictures. We would also be sharing with you the professional pictures we'll be getting every day. You've seen the media crew, they've been so busy taking so many pictures. It is very important that, I mean, for all of us, that once we try to communicate all we do, it's also very important that we use like high quality pictures in communicating these things. I mean, you cannot just pick any picture like that, or, I mean, some of you also have really great phones. I'm not saying your phones are not good or you don't have good pictures with your phone, but then we're going to be dropping the link or the folder for the pictures of every day. If you want to tell a story, you can use your phone as well. Please do what to tag us, and we want to follow your journey. We also want to understand the journey as we spread this to the rest of the world. We just opened up this page. It is new. It is for East Africa. So it depends on us over here to make it work. So let's spread the word. We'll keep reminding you every day. And thanks so much for your indulgence in this. Asante sana. All right, so on this note, it's a break. It's a wrap. Morning session. Thank you so much. And then lunch after. More networking and more punching for people employed.